Okay, now I'm going to play this. No echoes yesterday. Okay. Hopefully, I may have to refresh, but no big deal. We do. I want you guys to get this. Because you hear how this lint licker was talking about this beautiful boy before she got her feelings hurt. When you get your feelings hurt from people, what you don't do. Am I echoing? I shouldn't be echoing. The press conference was a little echoey too. Okay. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. I got my echo setting on. She had no problem. One thing I can't stand is if you're here for a victim, no matter how your feelings get hurt, you stick with the facts. You stick with the information and you follow the trail. And when she got her feelings hurt, her integrity, class, and character were really on display. Because you don't flip the script and go, oh, well, we know something's not right here. Right? We know there's nothing right here, but then all of a sudden, oh, I got my feelings hurt. Oh, well, Seth's a horrible person. He's a pedo. That's what happened. It was just like that because this was early on. I had money. I haven't had money. I've been broke. I had hundreds of thousands of dollars in a bank account. Okay? I will tell you, not one single dollar or cent will ever allow me to do what this lady did. This is my full-time job, right? This is where I get my income to survive, where I get my income to advocate for other people in my community, how I get funding for the trips that I take to cover these cases. I will never sell out who I am as a person or my channel over money. Ever. Ever. Many people don't know, but in 2023 and going into 2024, when that unscrupulous PI fraudulently filed a copyright action in somebody else's name against me, which is a federal crime, by the way, when my channel was shut down for 3 months, I made $200. $200. I had to feed myself, clothe myself, put groceries on the table, pay my bills, $200 a month for 3 solid months. I will never sell out myself or my channel for money. I had some idiot reach out to me. I don't know if they're watching. I'm going to call you an idiot. Reached out to me and told me that I need to quit calling Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and I should only refer to him as Sebastian. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably just shaking your head like, oh, no, she didn't. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. So I had some very strong words for her. First and foremost, the first word is, don't tell me what to do. Okay? If anybody has been in an abusive relationship, you've been told what to do long enough, right? Nobody ever will tell me what to do again. That's why it's a sensitive subject for me. So if you come here and tell me, I don't care if you're a faithful subscriber, you should know better, first and foremost. Secondly, if you're a faithful subscriber and you reach out to me and tell me what I should be doing on my channel, that's when I have no problem hitting the block button and telling you about yourself. So if I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry, but next time, learn where to walk. Okay? And bullhornbetty@gmail.com is not your walking path, baby. And went over to Team Katie and Chris, which we all know has 5 CPS reports. There's a history of abuse here. There's a history of past spousal abuse. We've heard the Nina story. We have enough to corroborate that there were abuses, and most likely were abuses inside that home related to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Now, you'd have to say, well, what made them change their mind? What made them flip the script? It's very easy. Because they're loyal to a piece of shit named Jonathan Lee Riches that had got into a disagreement, or maybe I should quit sugarcoating it. Seth wanted nothing more to do with it. Something happened. It rocked the boat with Seth. That's what happened, and he just didn't want any more to do with him. They took it personally. They flipped the script and they started to attack him. Not because he was a grieving father. Not because, he was a horrible father. Not because of any other thing than hurt feelings. That's it. That's the only reason why they turned and started to attack him. I want you to hear this. Thank you, 5D, for putting this out here. I want you guys to hear this because she clipped Gaping Lake. And we're going to cover it up because I'm not giving Gaping Lake a plug. You guys, if you don't know who Gaping Lake is, you will once you hear her voice. We're not giving Gaping Lake a plug because she is a POS. She used to care about the victims, but she meddled into something that had nothing to do with her. It was between Jonathan Lee Riches and Seth Rogers. But for him to gang up with all these people to try to destroy this man and everybody that tries to help him, I'm going to be coming to see you pretty soon with my damn bullhorn. You keep it up. That's what I'm going to do because I am a professional protester, activist, and advocate. And when I see an injustice, I usually act. I've been very, very kind. I don't know if I'm going to be very, very kind much longer. I have constitutional rights, and I'm great at making sure that we address issues. This is my only and final shot across the bow to curtail some of this stuff because it's bullcrap. I live in Florida. I can move freely in Florida. I have no problem walking on public property and doing my job. I am a one-man show. But what I'm not going to do is keep allowing this hypocrisy. Let's listen to this POS when she actually had nuggets upstairs and wasn't on a mental spiral out of control.
I got to tell you, and I'm not trying to make myself a victim, but going through this is not easy. It is not easy to have 10 people, 10 different channels live streaming, mocking my looks, mocking my weight, mocking the way I talk, picking apart my words, picking apart my stories, picking apart my family, picking apart my parenting, picking apart my accent. You name it, I can keep going all the freaking day. And I can say it. Being surrounded by people that care and being surrounded by good people, makes it, basically it makes that fall not so hard, I guess is what I'm saying. It cushions it a little bit more, and I appreciate it. Oh, Hatter, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, sweetheart. Hatter's Madness, thank you so much for the super chat. That's very sweet of you. Actually, I think, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, thank you so much, sweetheart. I'm not trying to get too emotional or anything like that. I just want to say thank you, I guess, is where I'm going with that. It's insane. It's absolutely insane what's happening. It's absolutely insane. Definitely check it out. I'm so excited to see our community grow. I think people are starting to wake up and they're seeing, people are getting tired of this. They're getting tired of this, all of this chaos and drama and infiltrating cases. And I think people are starting to kind of, I don't know, I'm seeing more and more people, I don't know. I have hope. I think people are getting tired of it. Has the haters done stuff like this in other cases? I'm just curious because this is breaking my heart. Well, let me tell you. They did infiltrate themselves into the Summer Wales case. But I told you guys, it wasn't like this. This is on a mass scale. And what happened is, I'm not blaming anybody, but what happened is the community allowed these people in. More and more people from true crime started going into these creators' channels and supporting them. And by doing that, they have given these hate channels a foot in the door of true crime. Whereas they didn't really have that before. These channels were dragging all of the creators. Well, Nonsense was nowhere to be found up until, she did Marvon and Dre McRae, but she was nowhere to be found up until that point. Granny's Watching didn't really mess with true crime much at all. She tried, but she wasn't given much attention. It's only through Sebastian Rogers, when this case happened, you have these creators like Granny and Nonsense, and Queen Bee. All these creators was, kind of more and more true crime channels or true crime subscribers started going over and supporting these channels. And when they did, that gave them a foothold into our community. And what we're seeing right now is a travesty. Oh, KKK Clue, she wasn't even here. I think she just started with Idaho 4. And you know what I heard? I haven't watched her in forever. But they're saying that Idaho 4, like she's being horrible to Dylan. Oh no. Y'all, oh my God. Hold on, guys. What? Oh my God. I just got some stuff sent to me that I'm not very comfortable with, y'all. Oh, wow. What? Hold on, I'm so sorry. I sure do. This bitch is pissing me off. So I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna go through this for a minute. There's a couple spots in this live that I want to go through because she can't just argue with me on one point. She's got to go all the way back to a bunch of different stuff in my live streams and then call me. I'm the evil, dirty, manipulative bee is what Nonsense calls me, right? I would like to remind each and every one of you, this woman come out of nowhere and started making live streams about me for months before I even knew she existed. I didn't even know who she was. I had no clue. Never heard of her a day in my life. Now, can I ask you guys, how is it possible that someone can come after you for months and then you respond to them and somehow you're the problem? Can somebody please explain that to me? How is it that I'm the problem here? How many times can you poke something? How many times can you poke a person before they bite back? Honestly. And I'm going to tell you, you don't have the moral high ground. You don't. You've been coming at me for a year. Do you know that? Do you realize that, Becky? You have been trashing me for the better part of a year now, y'all. An entire year. Hey, let's compare channels. Let's go through my channel and let's go through yours. And you tell me who's the one that has an obsession or who's the one that doesn't stop. Becky, it takes me forever to respond to you. You push and push and push and push and you poke and you prod. And then you turn around and you act like I'm the one that's doing this to you. It's the sickest gaslight I've ever witnessed. I mean, Becky is quite fitting for the name too. Becky is the new Karen. Becky is officially the new Karen. You know how many people have said that to me on this app? I think people said that. If you're a grown-ass human being going around not her saying tranny, I think it's a joke. Not her once again showing, oh man. JD, I just want to make sure she's getting her notifications checked. Use that type of insult to somebody when you're affecting their community against you. Oh really? Are you a transgender? Nonsense. First of all, I didn't call you a tranny there. I said other people called you that I was nowhere around. But are you a transgender? Are you? That didn't happen. Anyways, you heard her ranting about her children. The reason why that got mentioned is because she, hold on. Actually, instead of talking about it, I hate doing that. So let me pull that stream up while you guys listen to this. Am I correct? So I have a bunch of people. Now you're going back to, I stopped the recording. She just goes on and on and on. But she weaponizes her kids. She weaponized her kids. No, I don't weaponize my kids. You have no business speaking on them. At all. At all. But you continue to bring them up. There you go. Here she goes, bringing my kids up again. Stupid bitch. And multiple things to get people to silence, to be silent. It was fucking weird. It was disgusting. It was mentioned because she absolutely has used them. We didn't speak poorly about her parenting, except for she weaponizes that. That's it. There was no insults towards her children, any of that. You don't need to bring my kids up at all. Sorry, my kids shouldn't be brought up at all. But you all have this sick, disgusting standard that if you hear kids in the background, they're fair game. You're fucked in the head. All of you.
Adults have a child that they let down or disappoint a child. A child can feel sad, fearful, and betrayed. They can also feel like they're unworthy. A child can feel sad or betrayed, or they can feel unworthy. They can stop also trusting people, adults or people. I don't know it to be a fact, but this is all in my opinion. Hey, Lakeside Lawyer, I feel like just from what I do know and what I've heard, seen, or studied the last year, or researched, in my opinion, I feel like when he wasn't with his dad, he was at school, and then he was at home, like he was an only child, and in my opinion, he did most of the housework or chores, and if you, will remember, he took care of most of the animals, not just his, like most of them, like he had 30 snakes, like he didn't, he had one snake, but he took care of the snakes, you see in photos, even past photos that was just put out, and photos just of Katie and Chris by themselves, they had multiple dogs. He was an only child, he did most of the housework, taking care of the animals, while his mom was at work, because there's verification of when Seth would call him, or vice versa, he would call Seth, and it would be like, son, hey Justin, it would be like, son, what are you doing? It would be, I'm doing my homework or I'm doing chores, and it would maybe a short conversation, and he would get off the phone, and he'd go back to what he was doing, but the fact was his mom was at work. So then, again, this is my opinion, so then if mom got home from work, whenever she did, I don't know if that included stopping to get groceries or whatever she had to do after that, I'm sure it wasn't just working home every single day. But she told me that was, in my opinion, time away. And in my opinion, when Chris was home, I'm talking about just when he wasn't supposed to be home, allegedly, I'm talking about when he was home, I feel like Sebastian spent a lot of time in his room, kind of out of sight, out of mind. There's not much time in a day. Y'all, between school, mom's work, phone calls, running the household, cooking, fast for both of them or all of them, bedtime pets, it's not enough social time. So out of sight, out of mind, in my opinion. And then not counting whenever he was gone to his dad's, he just didn't have enough mom time, in my opinion. Sebastian had to feel like his ship never quite came in. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I'm sure there was good times. I'm sure there were. In every household, there's good times, there's bad times, and I'm sure there's really ugly times. To be fair. And Sebastian did all the right things. He did all the right things he should have done. He did everything he was supposed to do. He told adults when things were really, really bad. He told his teacher or the office or whoever. He told the proper authorities, and CPS went out. And, in my opinion, Chris handled CPS. And he made Sebastian feel small. He made Sebastian feel small, like Sebastian did something wrong, in my opinion. Sometimes, especially for autistic children, they shut down altogether to cope with their pain. And arguing with an autistic child is not going to help, period. I felt like that happened a lot between Chris and Sebastian, and more so Chris and Sebastian than Katie and Sebastian, but I could be wrong. It could have been both of them. Autistic children find demands placed on them very, very, very stressful, and stress is something you need to avoid with autistic children. You need to give them a choice and make them feel in control. You also need to take a deep breath and pause before acting in anger with an autistic child. I don't think that happened with Chris. The fact that he told him, about packing his stuff up, putting it in the trash, and making him throw it away showed that as well. And you have to make quality time, more so with an autistic child. Yes, they like their space. They like things the way that they do. But you have to make quality time with them. Especially, you should do it, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes before bedtime. Allegedly, Katie was the only one in the house, allegedly, with him at night. Did she bother to spend time with him prior to him going to bed? According to her, no. Nope, sure didn't. She was on that phone. She was on the phone. Now, granted, in her eyes, she spent all day with him on the 25th. So, we'll give her credit for that. But guess what? She did it all wrong. She overstimulated him. And I believe, in my heart, that part of the day was pre-planned. Why did she overstimulate him? Why? Do your research. That was way too much for him in one day. Hell, that was way too much for me in one day. She went about that all wrong. Why? Why? You never also compare a autistic child to their friends or their peers. Each child is different, and comparing them can be harmful and cause unnecessary stress to them. I wonder if that's why he had no friends. Yeah, it had to all be fit into one weekend, didn't it? Why? Why, though? Yeah, she was selfish. And it was done on purpose, in my opinion. Listen, you overstimulate them. They have any loud noises, bright lights, crowded places. Any of those things can cause or trigger anxiety or meltdown, and frozen lasagna, hot dogs, something quick. But why go out to eat, especially at Texas Roadhouse? Why not a hamburger joint, drive through the drive-through window, take it home? Something is kind of fishy there, if you really stop and think about it. Which, let's speak on that a second. Now, I'm telling you right now, I'm sorry, but I am telling you right now. Oh. Can I show that? Oh, can I show it? Okay. I got a picture I'm going to show y'all. I was just seeing. It said, bet Katie don't have this fucking picture. I'm going to show you this picture. All right, this is my real phone. Just don't text me until I get it because your thing will probably show up. Look at this picture. Bet Katie don't have this fucking picture. That's from Seth. Ain't he cute? Look at that. Look what Smiley's got. Nana boo-boo. And another thing. Why is all these pictures going to a hate channel? Chris, why ain't they going to your friend that wants to be your 6 month? I'm just saying. Look at that. And look at that smile when he's with his daddy. Look at that, how happy he is when he's with his daddy. So I want to tell y'all, I want to tell you. That's right. It's only people that want to play games. You don't own Sebastian. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is his name. His daddy, thank you, Fundaski. Oh my God, she gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. Whoever got those, tell her thank you. You don't own Sebastian. His daddy gave him his name. His daddy followed all the way from California to here.
I just thought of this. Why would you need to text CP all through the Texas Roadhouse, then have a 3-way phone call, 3-hour phone call? Oh, yeah. Text them the whole damn. I mean, who talks to their husband for 3 hours at 10 o'clock at night? It's actually 2 hours. Nobody that's been married 8 years is going to sit and talk to your husband for 2 hours. Not a chance. You're married 8 years at that point. You're going to talk to your husband 2 hours a month. Jeez, that screwed up my camera. 1 second now. There is no way in God's green earth to talk to him. I mean, what the hell can you talk about? Whatever happened, in my opinion, had already happened by 9:43 or 9:46. 9:43 or 9:46. Right? Now, I will say, if they had been fighting and they needed to work out something, right? If they needed to work out something, you know, their differences of whatever, I can understand a 2-hour phone call. But just to be talking, nope. When I'm at dinner with my kids or anyone, I may return a text, but I ain't sitting there scrolling and scrolling. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, and studying. Forgot about that, girl. Thank you so much. Yes, she's reading, she's sleeping, she's studying, all of this. But again, let me take you back to the other one here. She's very concentrated on whatever she's doing. You can tell. She's very, very concentrated after she does this. It has been said that Katie took a picture because he was using dressing on the salad when he usually doesn't. All right, let's think about this. Can you imagine? Okay. Oh, baby, he's eating this dress. He's eating this dress, and he normally doesn't. Let me send a picture to Edgar. He will love that. Edgar Ramus, look at here. He's eating his salad dressing. Isn't that cute? Does Edgar going to care? So, who cares? Well, you know, that doesn't look like a salad. I don't know what the hell it is, to be honest with you. They said it was, I forget what it is. On December 6th, they asked about Green Hoodie and second individual that was in the vehicle next to KK car. That person has never been clear. What about evil exist? Did you believe that they were perhaps buttering him up, so to speak, letting him have a good weekend in order for Edgar to come by or whatever? You know what I mean? He goes to school the next day. Whatever happened, in my opinion, I think someone snapped. I didn't see any salad. I got the early interview. Katie and Sebastian had salmon. That's what I always thought it was, salmon, but you know, that's just what I've always heard. But to me, it doesn't look like salmon. It just doesn't to me, in my opinion. I mean, look at this. One in a salad. Oh, Smiley just text me something. Okay, so Texas Roadhouse has grilled salmon, and they have salmon Caesar salad. Are you in the mood for a pet cat?
Christopher! Katie! Christopher!
Meow, meow. I'm a little kitty, short and stout. Here is my mew mew. Here is my mullet. When I get all steamed up, hear me say, crystal clear and pervy ways.
Oh, suck it now. Oh, suck it now. Oh, suck it now.
He likes to sookie. Sookie likes him. He likes to sookie. He'll probably soon be with a gym.
What did the irritated chicken say?
To make that work out. Those people, if they were acting like Seth and out there searching and organizing searches, and if they were crying, like serious crying, not these fake, I can't produce a tear kind of thing. But if Katie and Chris was like Seth, and anybody brings up any stupid stuff, and they said, like Seth does, it's not about all that. This is about my son is missing. Where can I find him? But Katie and Chris aren't doing that. They're over there behind the scenes, and they're handing out information to these people. They're the ones that are putting these pictures out there of Sebastian. I haven't seen a picture of him but one, over the age of probably 10 or 11. The child just turned 16. He doesn't resemble himself at the age of 10. Especially not when you're putting out 5-year-old pictures of him. I get it. Put those out there every once in a while. Share your memories. That's great. But when those are the pictures on flyers, that's what people will be looking for. And then the mother's going to try to turn things around and say people, they misconstrued the information that's been put out there. No, heifer, that's your fault. That's your fault for telling us how incompetent he was with things. That's your fault for putting out pictures that makes him look like he didn't really never grow up. It is crazy. that we're the bad ones. YouTuber, he's married. Oh, it just gets better and better every time I read about it. They can interact without touching a phone, guys. Brianna said they're all swingers, in my opinion. Who knows? Who knows? But I'll tell you, you're not going to tell us the truth. I'm not going to help explain anything because I want no part of any of it when it comes to that person getting nice, pretty, shiny bracelets.
She's on the warpath with body language, right? Because he goes, she's saying something to him, and then he's going, no, and then I think she says something to him like, well, are you sure? Something like that, and he gives an explanation. Now, what could she be saying there? Oh, the elbow on the table. The way she's sitting is like hostile, hostile, hostile. The way she looks at him, the way she looks down. She doesn't make eye contact unless she's this. She's preparing herself, and when she pulls up her sleeve, that's when, I mean, it's really bad. But she starts out without pulling up her sleeve, and she's questioning him. So, you know, like an interrogator. So, are you comfortable? Okay. Yeah, you got what you need there? You had a good meal, right? And she says, and he's like, I have a question. And then she goes, I have a question. Here's my question, right? Pretend you're Sebastian. I have a question. You talked to your dad today or yesterday? No. Did you see your school counselor this week? No. Are you sure you didn't tell him something? Like, what did you tell him? And he's like, nothing. I didn't say, I didn't really talk to him. Or I didn't have, they weren't there. I think he says the word, something that ends with F. Because he brings his mouth together like off or if, something at the end of one of the words in the beginning. Where he says no, and then he starts to kind of explain something, right? It's like off or if, but he's explaining. And I think she's starting in. Did you do this? Have you talked to I think this is her last moments to check. Who have you spoken with? Did you talk to your dad today? Did you call him yesterday? Have you texted him? What did you have? It's an interrogation. Have you seen the counselor at school? Did she say anything to you? No. What did you say to her? Or whatever it is. And he goes, like, maybe he's saying like the schedule was different or something like that, or whatever he's saying. Some explanation, like, no, dad was working or whatever he's saying. But I think one of the words that has an F at the end. Okay. And she's on the warpath with body language, right? Because she's saying something to him, and then he's going, no. And then I think she says something to him like, well, are you sure? Something like that. And he gives an explanation. Now, what could she be saying there? Oh, the elbow on the table. The way she's sitting is like hostile, hostile, hostile. The way she looks at him, the way she looks down. She doesn't make eye contact unless she's this. She's preparing herself, and when she pulls up her sleeve, that's when, I mean, it's really bad. But she starts out without pulling up her sleeve, and she's questioning him. So, like an interrogator. So, are you comfortable? Okay. Yeah, you got what you need there? You had a good meal, right? And she says, and he's like, I have a question. And then she goes, I have a question. Here's my question, right? Pretend you're Sebastian. I have a question. You talked to your dad today or yesterday? No. Did you see your school counselor this week? No. Are you sure you didn't tell him something? Like, what did you tell him? And he's like, nothing. I didn't say, I didn't really talk to him. Or I didn't have, they weren't there. I think he says the word, something that ends with F. Because he brings his mouth together like off or if, something at the end of one of the words in the beginning. Where he says no, and then he starts to kind of explain something, right? It's like off or if, but he's explaining. And I think she's starting in. Did you do this? Have you talked to I think this is her last moments to check. Who have you spoken with? Did you talk to your dad today? Did you call him yesterday? Have you texted him? What did you have? It's an interrogation. Have you seen the counselor at school? Did she say anything to you? No. What did you say to her? Or whatever it is. And he goes, like, maybe he's saying like the schedule was different or something like that, or whatever he's saying. Some explanation, like, no, dad was working or whatever he's saying. But I think one of the words that has an F at the end.